We live in a fickle community. It's a very weird place. It's a place where people come from all area codes, countries, just, religions, political affiliations, and people think differently. People feel different ways about different things, and I'm no different. So today I want to talk about like something that was just prevalent throughout the comment section, from not only the discussion of the chapter but also the analysis of the chapter. Who is killing Kaido? Because recent chapters have led people to believe different things, and personally, I don't think even Oda knows who's killing Kaido yet. Or maybe he has an idea, an inkling. But I feel like just revisionist history, it should be pretty clear. You know what? Okay, wait, slow down. I said who's killing Kaido. I really meant who's defeating Kaido, because there's something we have to preface this with. We talk about who's killing, who's defeating, who's doing all these things to Kaido. But I'm one of these people. I don't know if Kaido even dies here. Yes, I understand that's something Kaido would like to do. He would like to die, but then again, does he? Okay, so Kaido is a weird individual, in which we got introduced to him chapter 795, suicide. Everyone remembers that. He tried to kill himself, but that's what, they were saying. But as the story has gone on, it seems like Kaido has a lot more purpose than I originally thought. First off, he has a daughter. Secondly, he wants to have like a huge world war. He wants to go out triumphantly. That's why he looks up to Whitebeard so much, because Whitebeard went out, I think, the greatest way we've ever seen in anime. Well, that could be a slight exaggeration, but I can't think of anybody better who went out. People reference Jiraiya. Spoiler alert if you haven't watched Naruto. But Jiraiya, that was a crazy way to go out. But Whitebeard, first of all, like his performance in Marineford, is up there, and then secondly, he died standing up. It's unheard of. So Whitebeard is up there. So then for Kaido, looking at that, he wants to go out the same way. But then for Kaido, I'm like, do you really want to die? But there's so many questions swirling around Kaido. We don't even know how to kill him yet. Even before that, we don't even know what he is, because there's still people out there who says, but Kaido obviously isn't human, right? He must be a dragon. He must be an Oni. He must be a poneglyph. There are fewer people out there that think Kaido is a poneglyph, but people out there think Kaido could be a poneglyph. I don't know what the fuck they've been smoking or drinking, but I'm gonna look really stupid if Kaido comes back and he is actually a poneglyph, because I just don't think he's a fucking poneglyph, guys. I'm sorry, I don't think he's a poneglyph. I think the form, like his base form, like what he came from, was human, or he could be just a result of just a bunch of smile. I don't know what Kaido is. It is a stretch to call him human, because based on what we've seen so far, he has a lot of inhuman traits and feats. But here's the thing though, as impressive as Kaido has been in regards to durability and just stamina and being a force in the world, Big Mom has matched that, or one could say she's done him better in regards to that overall portrayal. Because yeah, Big Mom sometimes can come off as a clown and a bumbling idiot, but Big Mom has no scars. They've tried, other than the scrape on her knee with Mother Caramel, but Big Mom she's gone through a lot. We've seen her take just a lot of blows, and there's nothing on her, right? And she is a human, a regular human from two regular, just no good parents, because they just dropped her off and said, yo, we can't take care of this big woman anymore. At that point, she was a big child, but she's a good comp. So for Kaido, it's not crazy to say he's a human. It is kind of crazy to say he's a poneglyph. I'll say that. Further than that, people are saying Kaido is probably a dragon who ate a fucking human dragon. What are we talking about? I don't think Kaido is a dragon that ate a fruit to turn human, or ate an Oni fruit. I don't think so. I think Kaido's devil fruit is a dragon devil fruit, whatever it is, Eastern dragon, whatever. And I think Kaido could either be an Oni or just a human that had a bunch of things happen to him, right? I'm leaning towards Oni, but who knows really? Who really knows at this point? So for Kaido, what's next? Who should defeat him? There are a bunch of arguments out there for a bunch of different people, and we have to factor in the situation and what's going on around us. And there's a lot of shit going on around us. First off, one of my arguments in regards to who should defeat Kaido factored in Big Mom, and Big Mom being a big piece that somebody else can take out and garner some notoriety from it. But at this point, what is she doing? Seriously, based on a conversation with Marco, it seems like Big Mom has a plan, or she knows what she's doing, because she knows she wants to be the pirate queen or pirate king, whatever you want to call it. But how does it happen? Does she actually betray Kaido? She's betrayed people before, so in revisionist history, you would say Big Mom probably betrays Kaido. But then if it goes that way, does Big Mom actually get defeated? Because I think Big Mom could be incapacitated in a different way other than being defeated. So you ask the question, where are you now, Brago? Like, based on everything that's going on, everything that's transpired right now, chapter 993, post chapter 993, how do you feel about who's defeating Kaido, who's defeating Big Mom? Well, let's go. In ascending order, I'll give you guys who I think will and should defeat Kaido, right? And just give certain scenarios in regards to these. First, with Big Mom, though, I'm leaning towards her getting saved and taken back to Whole Cake Island, but overall not ever being the same and being a true threat, because her family will finally be able to control her, right? And they'll feed her lies, feed her whatever. But I think Big Mom overall by the end of Wano will not be actually defeated by anyone. She'll just be incapacitated, remember everything that happened with Mother Carmel, and then somehow they find a way to get her back to Whole Cake Island. And Big Mom essentially and effectively is out of the story. And so that's what I think happens to Big Mom. How we get there, that's another video. All right, that's something else we talk about. Now, for Kaido, should Kaido be defeated? Yeah. Should he be killed? I mean, I don't know. Villains just don't die in One Piece, right? Oda has addressed that before, I believe in an SBS talking about villains and why he doesn't kill them and why Luffy doesn't kill specifically. I believe the quote was Luffy already kills them by crushing their dreams. So in regards to killing Kaido, I don't think he dies. Even though it would be a fitting end for a monster of that magnitude, I just don't think he dies, man. I think in a way, Oda finds a unique, creative way to remove him from the story. That's the thing. When you come at this topic, you approach it from two angles. Do you think Kaido is defeated, or do you think he dies? So I'm going to approach it from the angle of I think Kaido gets defeated. He could die, but right now I'm on the side of him getting defeated. So how do we get there? First off, everything Kaido is showing against the Scabbards right now is what we expected, right? We expected the Scabbards to come out and have a great showing, for Kaido to take some damage, but overall for it to be, for naught. Because Kaido he's a strong ass man creature child thing, right? He's really, really strong. So I never expected the Scabbards to, hold a candle to Kaido. Because if the Scabbards defeated Kaido, then the entire point of the Straw Hats and everybody being there, it would be no purpose. So that wasn't going to happen. However, they had to put up a fight. They had to do something at least this significant to have Oden be mentioned again, have those moments, those callbacks to Kaido and Oden, or they would just be flat out goddamn pathetic if they couldn't at least do this to Kaido just at their full strength. Remember, the Scabbards right now, they're fighting at their full strength. It's a full moon. This is the best they can ever and will ever hope to do. Now, who should defeat Kaido? First off, let's start with the Scabbards. I think it would be cool if one of the Scabbards were involved in the final blow. The final blow, more than likely Kinemon, because I think Kinemon, out of all the others, is probably the person that inherited Oden's will, or the foremost Scabbard, as they explained it, because he's one of the first, him and Denjiro, but he was the older one, so he's probably closest to Oden. So I'm leaning towards Kinemon, but the Scabbards have no chance of defeating Kaido, so they're effectively ruled out. Next, we have Law. Now, Law, in regards to Kaido's death, I don't think there's any chance of that, just because Law, I think he may serve a purpose in Wano, right? We haven't seen him in a while, so Law more than likely he's planning something, strategizing. He's going to come back with a bang, do something really epic, really cool, but then he's probably going to lose an arm by the end of the arc, or just lose everything. Honestly, I think there's a higher chance of Law dying than Kaido. There are so many death flags. I'm not sure what Law's purpose is even past Wano. I mean, the goal ultimately when we met Law was to defeat Kaido. Of course, Doflamingo was a part of it. That's the whole purpose of Kaido, was to pit Kaido against Doflamingo, but that was the ultimate goal. The 30% chance, that was it. So past it, people say, well, Law has no purpose. You could find something there in regards to Corazon and him finding out more about the Will of D, and that's why he could be somebody that lives and goes on to, try to become the Pirate King. Of course, his crew is trash. Garbage. I don't know how he does it, but say he goes on, finds out more about the Will of D, and then he inherits it. There's theories going around about him being a part of Sword, inheriting Corazon's will. It's possible, but no chance Law defeats Kaido. I think he does play a part. Maybe he saves Luffy. The ageless surgery is in play here. Not sure exactly how that would work. Law isn't defeating Kaido. Next, we have Zorro. Zorro's been the hot topic recently, just based off of the words and dialogue that Kaido's been saying in regards to, not having someone that's strong enough, a samurai strong enough to ever open that wound that he has. There are a bunch of people out there that think Kaido should be killed by Zorro based on foreshadows in the story. I mean, some cover stories, some history with Wano, with the dragon flying over the capital and being killed by a swordsman, Ryuma, and Zorro basically inheriting that will, and of course inheriting Oden's sword, the only sword that's been able to scar Kaido, even though that's kind of cap, because Amino Habikiri did it as well, but we'll move forward from that. So, I think there's some credence to the fact that Zorro should be the one to defeat Kaido, but I think we have to understand that Zorro is not the fucking main character, right? Zorro is one of the main characters, but he's not the main character. So I think Zorro, while it would be cool if he would get a moment like that, I rule out moments like that altogether after what happened in Dressrosa, where I think the person that should have landed the final blow on Doflamingo should have been Law. And that didn't happen. So after that, it was like, okay, we have to understand this is just, it's not, no. Just not happening. It's just not happening. The role that Zorro should play based on everything and how it's played out is reopening the scar of Kaido. Personally, back then when Zorro was about to give up Shusui, I didn't think he should have, just based off of what Shusui meant and the potential of Shusui. And I felt like Zorro already having a black blade, obviously he couldn't make that a black blade. It would then lead to him making Waluigi Monji a black blade. Now having Enma, I think it would be hella far-fetched if Zorro made it a black blade, even though it's kind of creditless to say that because we don't know how you create a black blade. However, you know it's, spending some time with your sword, being really good with the blade based on the two people that we know to have black blades in the story, Ryuma and Mihawk. Something I thought about, Oden managed to do this to Kaido without having a black blade, right? And then black blades, could be slightly overrated based on just, Rayleigh didn't have a black blade, Whitebeard didn't have a black blade, Shiki, Shanks, all these strong, hella strong combatants don't have black blades. They're top tier. So a black blade isn't necessary to be strong, but it could upgrade your sword. So, we'll see with that, but I think Zoro's role, just based off how, I think, it was kind of a weird thing, just how easily Zoro gave up Shusui, even though it was getting Enma. I felt like Zoro had more of a connection to Shusui. Based on the interaction with Ryuma, I felt like Shusui should have been the sword that he would continue with. I guess he still could, but I think at this point, Enma and the upgrade it provides is just too much, and it's a perfect power-up for Zoro. But again, based on all that, I think Zoro is the samurai that Kaido would not expect, that would reopen that wound of Kaido and present a fitting opening for someone else to defeat Kaido. I think Zoro gets another fight. I think he does help out with Kaido, and then he gets his own fight, which will be different from Sanji. And that's how he gets his bounty a bit higher than Sanji's post-Wano. But in regards to killing Kaido and being the one to defeat Kaido, I don't see that. But again, he does play a role. Next, we have Eustis Captain Kid. Every single chapter, though, I think my expectations for Kid go down just because of how missing he's been. Even though he's here, right? He's in the war, he's around, just no significant panels. And every single time it's, I'm going to catch up to Straw Hat, or it's nothing of note. And he's using Metal Claw every single time. It's like a meme that Eric made, Eric Tolato for Red Force podcast, of Kid's moveset. And it's just Metal Claw. It's like the Pokemon thing where that's all he does. Literally, it's just the same attack. He did something, a different variation of the attack, a named attack we saw, but it's the same thing. And for Kid, I'm starting to get a bit wary of his, his role and purpose going forward, just because Oda said he was a supernova he had plans for. Kid. And then Law came out of nowhere because of the fan appreciation, how much fans loved Law. But for Kid, that was somebody Oda had plans for. I'm like, where the hell are the plans? So far, Kid has been just a background character. Even him retrieving his crew, nothing on that. They just came out of nowhere. I thought we'd have like, quick mini arc with Kid and Killer just by themselves, where they talk about how they meet back up with the crew. None of that. They just pop up at the right time, I guess. No faith in Kid, but I think he does play a role in defeating Kaido at the end. So that's why he's above Zoro for me, because I think Zoro opens the wound, but I think Kid does have a final blow in there with the final person that I think just defeats Kaido, right? And the final person, obvious fucking is Luffy. Luffy's the person that's going to defeat Kaido. Luffy's the main character. That's how he goes. That's his story. He's been saying he's going to defeat Kaido. It just matches up. Luffy's the person that's going to, bring forth the dawn. Of course, Wano is significant to the end of the story, but I think just seeing Luffy defeat this monster that's had a hold on your country for decades will bring about a new hope and just a new era in regards to the future moving forward. So I'm not sure how he does it. People have been speculating that Luffy gets a new staff or a new weapon in which he can penetrate Kaido, but he doesn't need that shit. Luffy's learning Ryo right now, and that's obviously a way in which he will be able to hurt Kaido and defeat Kaido ultimately. Even though I think he'll have a bit of help from Law and Kid, Luffy is the one who will ultimately get the final blow on Kaido and get the most recognition and notoriety from defeating this Yonko. We can jump through as many hoops as we want to, but Luffy's gonna be the one to do it, right? But guys, give me your thoughts. Who the fuck you think defeats Kaido? Or kill Kaido, depending on how you feel about that. But give me your thoughts. Make sure to like the video if you did. Subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Follow me on Twitter at BragoDAce. I will be posting a question this week in regards to a video for next week. So that's something you definitely want to be a part of. Going to be a very interesting poll question as well. So follow me on Twitter at BragoDAce. Follow me on Instagram at BragoD.Ace. It's probably the best place to contact me. Just DM me. DMs are open. So, And then thank you to my patrons. I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for the support. Again, greatly appreciated. But yeah, that's about it. Like, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.